New year, new me, etc. Well, not really, I've kind of already done that. But I do have a few changes that are coming to both the YouTube channel and my Patreon that I want to discuss with you. First, the channel updates. I have a little one and a bigger one, so I'll start with the little one, which is just that in 2023 I want to reread a few older books. A few books that I haven't given a look in quite a while. I don't know who it was, but some famous author somewhere once said that you don't love a book unless you've read it twice. And that has stuck with me for a long time, because I don't do it a lot. I really am very, very bad at rereading books that I claim to love very dearly. So I thought I might do a series in 2023 called Revisiting, which is something that I actually thought about doing about 6 months ago, but here we are, new year, new blah blah blah, etc. I'm going to try and reread books that I love. That's the crux of it. So I'm going to revisit books that I enjoy and see if my mind has changed, see if there are things that I didn't realize before, themes and ideas. Like, my favorite book is Frankenstein. I say that a lot, and I've read Frankenstein like 5 times, and every time I come up with a new thematic thing to dig into when it comes to characters and relationships. And so I want to do that with more books. That's what I'll do. The bigger change to the channel in 2023, hopefully, is going to be me doing an interview series. Having done what I do for a few years now, I have quite a few connections in the world of publishing and writing, etc., and I'd like to start interviewing people on the YouTube channel. Either in person, if I am within reach of those people, if they live in the London area, or via Zoom, and I will then put those into YouTube videos once they're all nicely edited. I'd like to be able to interview authors and translators primarily, but I'd also like to interview people who are involved in publishing, editors, people who work for small presses, small publications, maybe even magazines. I'd like to focus on translators, indie authors, and indie publishers. Those are the 3 things that I specialize in. I have an infinite amount of love for translated literature and small indie publications, so those are the people I'd like to interview. I'll start reaching out to people now, and I'll see if I can start interviewing people maybe once or twice per month. I don't know who I'll interview yet. I have obviously a bunch of names swimming around in my head that I'd like to interview, and we'll see how it goes. As for the updates to my Patreon, I've done a little bit of spring cleaning and revamping of the benefits and the tier system within my Patreon. My Patreon community is incredibly important to me. In a very blunt financial sense, YouTube doesn't pay a lot, and it's my Patreon that allows me to do what I do. The money that I get from Patreon is about 3 times as much as I get from YouTube ad revenue. I need my patrons in order for my channel to work. But I also love the community that I've built. The patrons I currently have are such wonderful, kind people. I know them all by name. I enjoy chatting with them. I have a Discord community where we all chat every single day about the books that we love and even things in our personal lives. I have a book club that I host every single month. And in that book club, we get to share our personal stories, the things that we enjoy, the books that we love, etc. It's a wonderful community. So before I get to how my Patreon currently works in 2023, just keep in mind the fact that it exists and I'd love to have you in it. As for the benefits and the tier system of my Patreon, it goes as follows. If you join my Patreon for $1 a month, you get access to the Discord community. Every single one of my patrons is able to join the Discord, and it is just a wonderful private chat room full of bookworms where we all get to talk about what we're currently reading, books that we love, books we want to recommend to each other, and also any personal projects we've got going on. Some of the people in my Discord server are writers who want to talk about their work. Perhaps they just want to vent about something that irritates them, something about the publishing world, about a book that they're reading, or something in their private or professional lives. It's a place for us, a place for bookworms. It is an intersectional, queer-friendly community full of wonderful, kind bookworms. One change that I've made is that I've brought a lot of the benefits that were exclusive to $5 patrons down to the $3 tier, and you'll see why in a second. This means that anyone who joins the $3 tier gets access to content previews. Quite often, I film videos a week or 2 in advance, and so I share all of the thumbnails and information about my upcoming videos to $3 and up patrons a week or maybe a few days in advance of them actually going live on YouTube. And the other benefit for $3 patrons is that they get voting power on any topics I'm thinking about covering and I'm not too sure about yet and I need some input from patrons. And also they get to ask questions for any Q&A videos I do in the future. I like doing Q&A videos, so if you are a $3 or up patron, you get to ask those questions. As for why $3 and up patrons now have access to more benefits that were previously exclusive to $5 and up patrons, it's because this is the most exciting part of the video right here. I have a new benefit for anyone who is in my $5 and up tiers on my Patreon. This benefit goes like this. Every week I will post on my Patreon a question asking for book recommendations. My patrons can then comment and recommend a book. And then, on one video per week, I will share that book recommendation in a video. Probably at the end, I'm not entirely sure yet, but probably at the end of one video per week, probably every Friday's video, that video will end with a recommendation from a patron. I will say the name of the patron in the video, I will say the name of the book, I'll put up the cover of the book here, and I will read out whatever the patron has to say about that book. So if you join the $5 and up tiers, you get to recommend a book to my viewers every single week. Well, not every week. Every week I will pick someone to give a recommendation. I don't want to pick the same person 2 weeks in a row, that isn't fair, but you get how it works. And as I've already mentioned, if you're in the $10 and up tiers, you get to join the monthly book club via Zoom. This is a wonderful space. It is an hour every final Sunday of the month where we all sit down and chat via Zoom about the books we've recently been reading. It's a really, really fun time. We all sit there with a cup of tea or whatever, and a stack of books that we've recently read, and each person gets to just go through their recent reads and what they've enjoyed and what they didn't like and why. It's a lovely, lovely book club. I don't assign any books. You just come with the books you want to talk about. And if you join the top $15 a month tier, you get exclusive videos from me that I just sit and film. I don't edit them. I sit and I just talk. I give life updates. I give opinions on things. Whatever I feel like talking about that I can't really put into a regular video, I will put into one of these videos and share it with my $15 patrons. And obviously $15 patrons also get access to all the other benefits for all the other tiers. I think that goes without saying, but I said it. Also, up until now, I did also have a $30 tier for people to have private one-on-one consultations with me. I've gotten rid of that, at least for the foreseeable future, because it wasn't doing well for my work-life balance. My ADHD brain does not work with this kind of interaction with people. So I've gotten rid of that for now, but maybe I'll bring it back in the future, I'm not sure. Right now I just want to focus on everything I've just said. So there you go, those are the big changes coming to the channel and my Patreon in 2023. Most of these changes are actually pretty small, except for the interviewing thing. I'm particularly excited for that. But once again, if you want to join my Patreon community, I would really, really appreciate your help. And more than anything, I want to make it a welcome and exciting and inclusive space for bookworms to talk about their favorite reads, to chat with me, to share opinions. It's a wonderful, welcoming book community. So join it. Even if you can only spare $1 a month, I would hugely appreciate it. The Patreon community is a wonderful and friendly space for you, for all of us. And subscribe for books.